It seems like we've been experiencing some unusual weather so far this spring.
That's right. We're here now in the Weather Center with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. How's it going, Jacob?
Hey, pretty good. We've been a little busy around here, haven't we?
We have, and so busy that we've gotten lots of questions.
Oh, we always get questions, don't we? A lot of times it has to do with how much hairspray did Heather have to use on the windy day the other day, right?
Yes, that's accurate. There you go. Well, how about we dive right in?
Sure, let's go.
Let's get to our first question here. When is the peak of severe weather season? It seems like we've had more events earlier in recent years. I'm going to agree.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? We've had some warmer winters in recent years. You go back, Judy Frazier told me once, she's like, I don't remember severe weather ever being a thing during that. And when we look at the data here, something that we see is that, well, how about when tornadoes happen the months of the year? We are heading right into the peak here. April, May, and June still are our traditional peak months for severe weather season. The most tornadoes since 1950 to 2017 have happened during April, but we have certainly seen some more upticks in recent years in November, December, January, February, even in March. And so that certainly is something that we watch. The other thing I like to show, too, is that tornadoes, they can happen at any time of the day. But when we look at the graphics here, the most likely time for them to happen is in the afternoon hours here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon here. But we still have had tornadoes at all times of day. And so the one thing I like to stress is it doesn't really matter when the tornadoes happen. It's not looking at a calendar and keeping us updated on things like that. It is simply looking at, do the ingredients for tornadoes exist in place? It's kind of like Heather. It doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. She's making chocolate chip cookies, right?
Yes, yeah. Accurate.
Yes.
Yes. You know what I will say about looking at your stuff here? November was surprising that it looks a little bit higher there.
A little bit of a bump there.
But, okay, can we just flash back to the last severe weather where we had that coverage streaming for hours? How scared were you? Because I was watching and you were in that storm tracker and it was getting dark and I'm like, oh shoot, there's a tornado.
Well, I knew my road. One thing is you always know your routes, and so I had my route straight east. That was a really good road to keep ahead of the storm. But when I got to Findlay, the train made me a little nervous. I was like, and about 3 minutes after I got through with that train finally clearing, they had some damage in town, quite a bit of that. So.
I was concerned for you, but I knew you knew what you were doing.
First time in your life.
Negative.
Professional.
Negative.
He knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're trained, we've got it all, and we'll be out for the next ones.
Okay, next question here.
All right, when is the WCIA 3 Severe Weather Special?
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
It's a fan favorite.
It is coming around the corner. Heather loves watching this. She DVRs it. Let's talk about it. Here it is, big announcement, and look at that.
Ta-da.
April 3rd. It's coming up on Wednesday. You can see the four of us talk about our severe weather stories. We got a great show planned for you on that. That is our traditional spring severe weather season show. We have it every year. I also want to mention that it's not the only special coming up. The eclipse is coming around the corner here. We have a special day of coverage dedicated to that. So Kevin and I will be live from Totality during the day, assuming the weather is clear. Because, sometimes...
Wouldn't that be a bummer if it was heavy clouds during the day of the eclipse?
Yeah, it would certainly be something where
Is there something you guys can do about that? Make sure we get a good view?
We probably have to get one of those... Let's see if we can turn the windows on, blow the clouds down. Is that how that works?
Because that does bring up our final question.
Yeah, this is
any tips, tricks on the eclipse coming up, forecast hints?
Well, forecast-wise, we're still a ways out for the details, but I can show you a few little details here. First off, let's talk about the timing. We are in the afternoon of April 8th. This is the shadow. It's in Texas, but 1:30 in the afternoon, and it continues off to the northeast. Look at all these cities that are in the path here, and we'll keep it going by just before 2 o'clock. It's in Little Rock. We get about 4 minutes in the peak totality region here in Illinois. 2 in the afternoon now, it's Mount Vernon. Even Effingham gets in a little bit on that action there before it clears on out. The question is, what's the sky cover look like? Well, you look at the extended outlooks. We'll see, maybe a little bit more active. Last thing I want to show you is the average cloud cover. Generally this time of year, about 50–60% of April days can't have cloud cover.
Could be a coin toss.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We'll have to see how it goes.
Very good.
If you're not in the point of totality, can you still enjoy the eclipse?
You can. You'll have plenty of options and opportunities around here.
All right.
Okay, very good. Well, we appreciate you answering those questions. And if you have a question for Jacob, there's how you can connect with him. And we look forward to visiting with him again next week.